Managing hosting or hosting. In this video, I will explain hosting or hosting in full. Since I have recently talked about it a lot in more than one video, I decided to dedicate a separate video to it where I explain how to deal with and manage hosting or hosting. Let's start first by comparing the hosting plans provided by Hostinger. If you have already booked hosting, you can skip this part of the video to the section that will guide you. Although this part will still be very useful, as we will compare all the plans to know what the best plan is for each person. If we go to the hosting section here, we will notice that there are three types of hosting: regular web hosting, shared hosting, cloud hosting, companion hosting, and VPS, virtual private servers. Let's start first with regular hosting, which is the hosting that most of us will use. There are actually only two plans: the premium plan and the business plan. The cloud startup plan follows the cloud hosting, but it is placed here for marketing purposes only. If we compare the premium and business plans, we see that the business plan can handle a larger number of visitors, about 100,000 visitors monthly, while the premium plan can only handle 25,000 visitors per month. Why are there these differences? Because if we go to this page, which compares the limits of each package, we will find that the premium package has fewer resources, meaning it is only one CPU, while the business plan offers one processor. In RAM, you get approximately 1.5 gigabytes in the business plan, while in the premium plan, you only get 1 gigabyte. As I mentioned, the premium package is weaker than the rest of the packages, which is why it can handle a smaller number of visitors. Sometimes they add a lower plan. Sometimes they delete it. As you can see, it is not currently present. As for cloud hosting, we will find that there are three startup packages, each differing in resources. The resources in cloud hosting are larger, allowing it to handle a large number of visitors and also making it faster. Additionally, when you book a cloud hosting plan, they give you an IP address for the sites, meaning the sites you host on that plan will have their own IP. If you want a comprehensive comparison of the hosting plans, I advise you to visit this page. I will put its link below the video, where you can find a detailed comparison for each plan, allowing you to choose the plan that suits you. As for the third type of hosting, which is VPS, virtual private servers, these are more dedicated to professionals. When you get your own VPS, you will be required to manage it and install everything yourself, which means it is not recommended at all for beginners. However, for programmers or professionals, they can book VPS hosting without any problem. This concludes the comparison of each plan. Finally, if you notice, there is a page dedicated to WordPress and WooCommerce hosting. If we enter it, we will see that it is just a marketing page with various plans, meaning there is regular hosting and there is hosting for companies. As for this website builder, I do not advise you to use it frankly because it supports the Arabic language and is limited compared to WordPress. But if your requirements are simple or you want to create a website in English, you can take a look at it. Now, let's assume that you have chosen any of these packages. The first thing you will be asked to do is choose the duration of the hosting reservation. As we know, the longer you reserve the hosting, the more you will get a bigger discount. For instance, when you reserve hosting for 48 months, the price for 1 month will be about $4. If you use the coupon Go Online here, you will also get a bigger discount. When you reserve hosting for at least 12 months, you will get a domain name for free. But if you reserve the hosting for just 1 month, it will be very high. As you will notice, you will not get a free domain name and the coupon will not work. The monthly price will be very high, and this is something I do not recommend. Let's assume that you chose 24 months. The total will be $86, and after this period ends, the renewal price will be $9.89 per month. Now, you will be asked to create an account. This account will be used to manage the hosting package that you will book. As for me, I already have an account, so I will log into it. Here, you will be asked to choose the country in which you live. This is the only information required. The rest of the information is optional. Then click on Continue. After that, you will be asked to choose the method you want to pay with. Before that, you can make sure of the price you will pay, and do not forget to use the coupon from here to get a discount on the hosting price. This is the price of $86 after you have entered the coupon. You can pay via a bank card. Enter the name on the card you want to pay with, the card number, the expiration date, and the security number, which is usually located on the back of the card. There is also another payment method via PayPal or Google Pay. After you pay, Do not forget to confirm your email, and then you can start creating your website, as I explained in several previous videos. There are learning videos and commerce videos on how to create a website and how to create a blog. In all these videos, I explained how to host a website on Hostinger. Now, let's assume that you have already reserved the hosting. To manage it, all you have to do is go to the hosting a website and then click on this button to log in. Enter your email and the password you chose when creating an account on Hostinger and log in from here. You can manage all the services that you purchase from Hostinger. As you can see on the home page, it shows me that I have a premium hosting plan. This is its expiration date, and I can manage it from here. I also reserved a domain name, intlaq.net. This date expires, and I have to renew the domain name or I will lose it. I can manage it from here. On the left, there are some options. First, under Website, you will find all the sites that I created. As you can see, I created one site, which is the Intelaq online site. I can click here to log in directly to the WordPress control panel for this site without needing to enter a password or a WordPress username. I can also click on the dashboard from here to manage the site. I can create another website because the premium web hosting plan allows me to host more than one website on the same package. If I booked a hosting plan that does not allow that, like the web single plan, which only allows the ability to create one website, in that case, I must request another hosting plan. You may also in some cases, you may need to host more than one website on separate hosting plans so as not to affect performance. If you host, for example, 100 websites on the same hosting plan, although this is possible, if these 100 websites receive a large number of visitors, the premium web hosting package only handles about 25,000 visitors. Therefore, it is advisable to distribute those sites across more than one hosting plan. Before we continue, let me explain the dashboard or the hosting control panel. The first option allows me to manage the domain name of the site. I will explain this to you in a little while. Then, there is an option that allows you to view the hosting package you are using, along with information about it. This option allows you to set up an email with the name of your site's domain, meaning a professional email. From here, you can set up backups. In the file manager, you can upload any file you want inside the public_HTML folder. If you do not know what you are doing, I do not advise you to tamper with these files, as they are responsible for the WordPress site. If you delete any file, your site may stop working. From here, you can manage the databases. As you can see, there is one database. I can create another database if I want to go back. You can also take a general look at WordPress or the status of your site. This option forces users to use the HTTPS version. This option puts your site in maintenance mode if you want to maintain it and not allow visitors to enter. This option allows you to activate the Lightspeed Cache add-on, which I explained to you in a previous video. This option allows you to activate the object cache, but it is not available in the hosting plan that I use. From here, you can upgrade WordPress. As we all know, WordPress always gets new versions or updates. From here, you can activate automatic updates. If we activate them, WordPress will update itself without any intervention from us. You can choose whether you want to update all updates automatically or just security updates. If we go back, we will find that in addition to these quick options that enable us to manage the most important things, there are many other options. From this section, you can manage WordPress. And from here, you can find information about the hosting plan you are using and the amount of data you are using. If you find yourself reaching the maximum limits, in that case, you may have to think about upgrading the hosting plan you are using. From here, you can upgrade the hosting plan. And from here, you can renew it. The section responsible for the site's performance allows you to activate the CDN, but this feature is available only in the business plan and not in the plan that I use. You can also measure the speed of your site from the analytics about the number of users. This site is only a test site, so as you see, almost no one visits it, and even these visitors are mostly bots. From here, you can activate automatic updates. From here, you can check your site, which currently tells me that the site is secure and does not contain any malware. In the event there is malware, it will detect it automatically and show it to us in this section. From here, you can manage the SSL certificate. As you see, it currently tells me that the certificate is activated. I can, of course, delete it from here, but this is not recommended. From here, you can manage the email for your site. I will explain this to you in the next video. There are some advanced options where you can change the PHP version or manage the DNS zone. These things are more for programmers or people who need them. Now let's move on to the next part, which is the domain. From here, you can manage the domain names that you have reserved. As you can see, I currently have one domain name, which is anq.net. I can manage it from here, including its expiration date. If you activate the option, the hosting website will renew the domain name automatically. When Hostinger does this, they will deduct the price of the domain name automatically from the bank card that you entered, so I uncheck this option because I do not intend to renew it. This option allows you to protect your data. This option closes the possibility of transferring this domain to another company. For example, if I reserve this domain from Hostinger, I can transfer it to another provider, but since I have activated this option, this is not currently possible. This feature is useful to prevent the domain from being stolen. But if you intend to transfer this domain name to another company, you must deactivate this feature. From here, you can change the name servers if you want to direct this name to another hosting service. As we know, the domain name and hosting are two separate things. If you want to reserve the domain name from Hostinger but host the site on another service, you can link the domain and hosting via DNS and change the DNS information from here. Then, you can enter the name servers you want. Currently, I do not want that, so we will go back. You can reserve another domain name by clicking on Reserve Domain. From here, you search for the domain name you want and reserve it easily. As for the email, from here, you can set up a professional email with the name of the domain you own. For example, I own the domain name anq.net. I can create an email, such as anwar@anq.net. To do this, click on Setup and set up an email. I will explain this to you in detail in the next video. Now, to conclude, let me complete the explanation from the VPS section. You can request a private server, as I mentioned, and manage it. This is directed more to people who have experience, so we will skip this section. From here, you can manage your subscriptions. As you can see, I am currently subscribed to a premium web hosting plan. Its expiration date is displayed, and when the expiration date of this plan arrives, I will be required to pay $119 for more options. Click on this icon, and you will find more details. You can, of course, cancel or activate automatic renewal. As you can see, this service is set to renew automatically, meaning that once I reach this date, Hostinger will automatically renew the plan and deduct $119 from my account or the bank card I use. If you do not want that, you can deactivate this feature from here. From here, you can upgrade the hosting plan. For example, currently, I am using premium web hosting. If this plan is not enough for me, I can upgrade to a stronger plan. From here, you can renew the hosting plan now and not wait until you reach the expiration date. If we go back, we will also find that I have reserved a domain name, start.net. This is the expiration date, and I will be required to pay approximately $16 to renew this domain name. Otherwise, I will lose it. I have canceled the automatic renewal feature because I do not want it to renew when it expires. For these plans, you should not show details like this in the history section. You will find the previous payments that you made, and from here, you will find the payment method that you used. You can add another method or delete this method. If you face any problems, you can contact technical support by clicking on this icon and then choosing Help. First, choose the topic you are facing a problem with. Is it managing your account, payment, domain management, or one of the services? For example, if I am facing a problem with the site, I would choose the domain name. After that, I can start a live chat with one of the technical support officials by pressing here. I just have to write them a message explaining the problem I am facing.